So someone like myself, I mean, I represent Hyper Esports, but how would I how would I go about selling myself? Because it's hard. It's easy. I feel like it's easier from an outside point of view. I'm not saying it's easy, but as a manager, you're you're not inside these people's brains, so you easier for you to go. Well, these guys are really this. I think it's really that you know, like sell on this point or like drive home this as an individual, how do you make the same business email? How do you write the same email? You're like, well, I believe that I'm good with like a good fit for your sponsorship for this reason.
It's interesting because I think because sometimes you might not even hit success or first reply because they might not know who you are, let alone who your branding is. And I think it's about getting out there to network, to get to know people. There's a lot of conventions that happen, like kind of like a business. You need to network. You need to go and put yourself out there. Say, hey, look, I am blah from this company. Let's chat. Get to know people, not just because they're at that position. What I notice a lot, there's a lot of people who will try to get to know you because of your title, your position, who you are. Because let's just say why sponsorship, that person, you want to get to know them. If you genuinely don't want to get to know, they can kind of sense it. And so then it becomes a very businessy kind of approach. We
Yep.
have X million followers. You can benefit by ABC. This is what we can offer. And I think that, it has to be a two-way approach, which is, if you want something from someone, what can you give back that's at an equivalent level of value? It doesn't have to be monetary, but if you can show them that it is worth it, then that's how you kind of create your first, handshake agreement with a sponsorship, things like that. And you can't really go straight away to your big brand, you know, I don't know, Logitech HyperX, your razors, and say, "Hey, look, I am a and this is what we can offer you," because they could look at that and say, "Yeah, no, we don't want you," or they'll offer you a lower tier agreement, which might not be good for you in the long run if you grow. I think it's you start off small. You have to start small. You start with the small endemic, non-endemic sponsorships that are that can sort of cater to what you want at a compromise, and you grow with. You can't, outgrow them or they outgrow you, because if that happens, then that's how you lose sponsorships. That's how it becomes messy.
Yeah, I think like I still think I mean I think that I'm still too small for my stream to be sponsored by individual uh companies. I can't think of any company like I like to think that I could be sponsored, but I think these people are putting not only putting giving you a product if they're giving you products or whatever, they're also um kind of like they're associating themselves with you. So I think with it at a smaller stage, it's very a big wild card to sponsor someone that's sub 10,000 followers. Do you have a different understanding of that? Like if I from my sales, I have 1,600 uh, followers. I average about 10 average views, and this is like, do you think that's a sponsorable size, or do you think that's still we still got some headroom to go, and we still need to grow a little bit more to
Yeah,
reach that?
I think working with a lot of PR companies, a lot of at the end of viewership. If you don't have a big following or small concurrent viewers, you really do have to be creative with how you sell yourself, because realistically speaking, people will be like, well, you don't really have a big following. I could find another group that has 20,000 followers on their YouTube, their Twitch, their Facebook, etc. And they're more inclined to get those people on board. So I think sponsorship from a small person who's only on like 1,000, stuff like that, you kind of have to put yourself out for smaller deals with smaller companies, or show them that you can project that return on investment for. Because I think a lot of influencers and a lot of groups, to show your sponsorship, that you could prove to them, there'll be 10 people who click that link and they half of them will buy something. That's what people kind of miss out in terms of, I guess, showing that value to a sponsor, to someone you want to work with. Because if you can't do that and you can't follow through with that, then they won't work with you again. And so, if you grow your, there's more of a grouping there that they might be interested in. And I think especially in the Australian market, if you've got 20,000 followers and it's just 1,000 viewers, how many of them are Australian? for example, in this region, because then that means that the sponsorship in this region would be more inclined to work with you if they can get some form of value out of you from that perspective, markets, click throughs, product sales, etc.
Yeah, and then that's a good answer. And I think once again, it's hard. It's I think it's hard for small streamers that are at that capacity but don't know their size because you've never you've never done like affiliate links before. I mean, maybe you could try with Amazon links, and then you could sort of like I wouldn't say fake it till you make it, but Amazon has affiliate links, so maybe you could go, oh, like this is sponsored by this, or I'm sponsored by that. But that's kind of being disingenuous because you're not really being sponsored by them. You're just affiliated with Amazon, and you can kind of sell that product. So it's a bit strange to kind of have a model to work from in terms of that sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think like if I was to be a small streamer and I want to pursue this career pathway, I think the first thing I'll do is just stream, get consistent numbers and followers. From there, have that ecosystem of social media presence through other platforms. Even if I don't use it, I'll learn and I'll try to understand why do people follow the likes of A, B, and C influencers, and kind of sort of mirror that model to your own approach. But you have to tailor it obviously to the market tackle. So if you're an Australian streamer and you want to hit Australian followers, it's going to be a lot slower versus you being an Australian streamer targeting the US audience. But at the same time, in that essence, from a sponsorship level, especially in this region, they want to target Australian markets. So you kind of want your split to be predominantly Australian viewers. So if you've got 500 Australian viewers watching you at the moment and it's concurrent, you're in a better proposition than to say to regional sponsors, I've got X many people, they're at this age demographic, and a lot of them love blah products. We could work together to do, a sale or something like that, using my code as a discount or whatever it is that you want to work sponsor. You have to be really crafty, but it has to make sense. It can't be very ambiguous and far left that they can't do it. And realistically, a lot of sponsors budget. So you're fighting with other influence companies or organizations for that slice of the pie. So you really do have to think then beyond just yourself. You have to think as a business, what would you want if you were to give people, X sponsorships, blah, products, etc.
Right. Okay. That answers a lot of my personal questions. I'm not always thinking about wanting to monetize this or get the most amount of money because I want to make sure that I'm producing good content and producing enjoying myself. Because if I'm just sending business emails and like that and just getting turned down after turned down, it kind of goes against what I was saying before. But it's not. But you kind of take effort out of what's important, and I don't think
Yep.
fighting for sponsorships early on is important at all.
Yeah,
But
agreed.
I think everyone that's small is kind of just waiting for that one sponsor to go up to them. One legitimate sponsor, not a fake sponsor that goes, "Hey, hun, like your Instagram page, would like to
Yeah.
collaborate." Like
Or follow for follow and things like that.
follow, like genuine sponsorships.
Yeah.
I think that's really a huge disconnect for people right now. Is that where do they go from here? Because I feel like not only do sponsors provide you, if it does, monetary value or a product, I think it's the affiliation. It's a big thing, and that's how I'd see it in terms of way. Is that at this stage, you're not going to be getting a huge money because they don't want us to put a lot of their budget into paying a small streamer if they're not even going to get one sale. So Logitech, for example, if they can't even get one sale for a mouse or a keyboard from you, then that's not worth their time.
Yeah, because I think there's different tiered approach. You could be an affiliate, which is different to a partner, which is different to a sponsorship. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. And they need to understand what an affiliate agreement is, what a partnership agreement is, and what a sponsored agreement is, because they're so different.
Hmm.
And I think, when they say I'm an affiliate, that's different to being a partner. It's different to being a sponsored. And it is not the person's fault. It's because no one's educated them on